Arise, Catholic faithful. Arise, Catholic faithful. So this morning I want us to reflect on this theme. No one is indispensable. No one is indispensable. And even this becomes more relevant when you say that no one is indispensable in God's plan, in God's design. Psalm 115 verse 3 says that our God is in heaven. He does what he wills. The first point I want us to note is that God can choose anyone to do his will. If I refuse to be serious in this parish, God can choose any priest, even ordained a year. Father Solomon can take over. I'm telling you. Never ever think it's not possible. It's possible. God can take anyone to do his will. Whatever he wants to happen must happen. You cannot change God's plan. So sometimes we think we are gods. We think we have become so powerful. We think that without us, nothing can work. Why am I saying this? The first reading of today from the prophet Amos. Amos says, I am no prophet. I was a dresser of sycamore and a herdsman taking care of sheep. But God chose me to come and preach his word in the northern kingdom, Israel. At the time, not as if there were no prophets or priests in the north, but they had refused to do the will of God. And as we heard, Amaziah, the name Amaziah, meaning strength of Yahweh, strength of Yahweh, was priest of Bethel. Bethel means house of who? Of God. A person who works with the strength of who? God, working in the house of who? But had refused to do what God had told him to do. When King Jeroboam, of course, the second, had conquered countries and the northern kingdom had become so powerful. We don't have time. Talk about David. David died. His son Solomon took over. Solomon died down. There was strife. North, south, all these things came in. At the time of Jeroboam the second, the northern kingdom was peaceful. They had great, wars, and they had won conquest and all that. You see, as it's napa, sometimes when we are comfortable, we forget what God has done for us. I'm telling you. And that's why some of us, we shall not be comfortable now. Because God knows that if you become comfortable, you will go to hell. I'm telling you. Oh yes, I'm telling you. Some of us, if you become comfortable, I'm telling you, you would even stop worshiping God. You should be thanking God that you are what you are. At least your daily bread you have. God will never let you sleep hungry. He will protect you. And Amaziah, the priest, who was to at least check the king, make sure that things were going well. There was justice. The poor, whatever, the vulnerable were all sick, were given something good to take. No, the priest, Wes, a priest, Roman Father Kuju, instead for me to advise the king, no, I was enjoying myself, enjoying V8s, enjoying dollars, enjoying a lunch at, I won't mention any hotel, but mention the hotels. I'm telling you, sometimes we become, as priests, we can do this. You can't speak to power because you are getting something from where? Power. And people were suffering. The northern kingdom was prosperous. They say in wealth, but in justice, in virtue, the kind of things they were doing, poisonous. Amaziah refused. Strength of God refused to work in the house of God. God chose Amos. Dresser of sycamore. He came to prophesy in the north. And when Amos was prophesying, you see, some of us, we are so arrogant, we are so stubborn. When you are even doing the wrong thing and you are being told, instead for you to do what? To change them. Amaziah rather went to the king, King Jeroboam II, to destroy Amos. Treasonable offenses against Amos, so that the king could punish, could drive, could push out Amos out of his kingdom. And today you hear, Amaziah, priest of Bethel, said to Amos, "Off, Friako. They see, you see things, visionary. Flee to the land of Judah." Of course, they were in the north. Judah was where? In the south. So we are talking in Kintampo. Leave. There, earn your bread by prophesying. So if you can prophesy, don't come and prophesy to us. I am here. Go to the south. But never again prophesy in Bethel. Never again come and preach in St. James. I'm the parish priest of St. James. Who are you to come and tell me what to do in my parish? Yes. For it is the king's sanctuary. Can you imagine? The king's. You see how he's making the king feel good. He forgot you, Amaziah, strength of God, working where? House of God, Bethel. He says that it is the king's what? He forgot it is whose sanctuary? God. First of all, it is a royal temple. Oh, then Amos answered him, I was no prophet, nor have I belonged to any company of prophets. I was a shepherd and a dresser of sycamores. The Lord took me from following the flock and said to me, "Go, prophesy to my people Israel." That's it. So my first point, God can choose anyone to do his will. So if you have been put into position, you see me, what I hate on earth are people who are put in positions. If you know you will not do the work, resign, leave. But to be there, and I'm telling this in this parish, elsewhere those who are, I hate it, because you are working against God, and if God has time for you, you will suffer for that. Konongo kaya, Konongo, with all respect to those from Konongo, Konongo kaya, you can't understand. You can't. Amaziah, you are a priest, work for God. You have forgotten. At the time of Amos, human beings, the poor, could be bought at the cost of sandals, not Gucci sandals, say common sandals. They could buy human beings at that cost. Idolatry. He didn't the priest. He had made a golden calf. Can you imagine? And the Lord has sent a shepherd, herdsman, to come and preach, and you have the audacity to tell him, "Get out of my place." You know, I know where God has put me to work. Ask yourself, are you working? Are you doing the will of God? The second point I want us to note is from the gospel. Jesus called his apostles and sent them how many? How many? In pairs. 2. The second point is you cannot do it alone. Okay? You cannot do it alone. Last 2 weeks I mentioned it. Even Jesus Christ, the Son of God, when he came on earth, he chose apostles. I'm telling you. Today he sent them, of course, as Jews. One person's testimony, quote unquote, is not valid. The testimony of how many people? 2, valid. Using that principle, I believe Jesus sent his apostles 2 by 2, that they will go and do his work, not go and do what they want to do, but what he has asked them to do. The point I want us to hit is that you cannot do it alone. Mister, you are married. Sit down with your wife and see how best you can manage your family. You cannot do it alone. Speak to your wife. Let her understand your financial situation. Let her understand your life. Once a man lost his job, he came to say, I said, have you told your wife? I said, no. So why have you? Talk to her. Talk to your children. Let them understand what you are going through. Let them know the truth. You can't do it. You can't carry the burden alone. You can't. Wife, speak to your husband. Children, speak to your parents. Speak to your priest. Speak. You see, you are going through a lot. You can't go on mission alone. Even the apostles, 2 by 2. The work is urgent. It's urgent. You need someone. And that is why in the church, we have what we call collaborative ministry. Sometimes, because of fame, there is a committee in the church. You put 3 people or 4. One person hijacks the whole work. He doesn't even want to tell the other. You come and go, Father, we have decided as a committee that A, B, C, D, E, F. And you as a priest, because the person sitting before you is the chairman of what? You presume that what he's saying is what? And yes, sir, our friend meeting Amber, that's a different thing. He has relegated everybody. You think that he should do it alone? It's not possible. Even myself, and parish priest, I can't do. Father Solomon is here. Monsieur Myers is here. It's not possible. You can't. Don't let the devil make you feel you. I don't know whether you are Superman or Captain Planet or what. Even Captain Planet, they will say, let our powers what? Before he will do what? He will come. So what is wrong with you? Why? Adam, why have you changed? No, you don't want anybody. Please, let us learn from the apostle. So these are the 2 things I want us to reflect on today. God can choose anyone. He can choose anyone. If you refuse to work, he will choose someone to do his work. 2, we cannot do it alone. Let us support each other. Teamwork. Let us support. Of course, we are all different. Yes. Let us try and work out and see how we can make God's work progress. I can see our young boys, Messino, Peter, and Pedro, the boys. Now they are also ushering. Those who have dangerous eyes, change. No, I'm telling you. Nobody, I'm just, I don't know. But you see, sometimes as human beings, we think that, no, I'm telling you. Catholic, Roman Catholic, Roman 4. When they see the young working, then you are looking out for mistakes. No, I'm telling you, you see, you want to dampen their spirits. They have not, I don't think anybody has done that, but I'm just advising us. You see, we can't do it alone. Sometimes when we are doing fundraising in the church, there are some names I won't mention, but if they give money, sure, huge money, I'm not bothered. Those people, even if they don't even hear and they hear later, they will do what? They'll contribute. But the beauty are those you have never seen, simple people who have just joined the parish and are what? Are contributing. You must support them, make them know that what they are doing is God's work. That is your ministry. Help them. But if we become like tyrants, demons, the spirit of Amaziah has entered you. I'm telling you, I am telling you, change. You can't do it alone. Hey, St. James Catholic Church, we who started from St. Maron's, we cannot do it what? Alone. It's not possible. A time comes, the priest who started working in Accra, who started Accra Diocese, where are they? They cannot still be working. It's not possible. With all respect to senior priests like Monsignor. Now you see Monsignor sitting down quietly. Hey, Monsignor Myers, former Vicar General, former Chancellor, former Abade. Monsignor, I don't know if you I'm telling you, we cannot do it alone. This is your time. God has sent you on mission. Go, anoint the sick, preach repentance. Wherever you are found, make work. Ghana, let us work. The younger ones, let us work. Work. Let us work. Let us not think that we are children. Let us not think we are children. We are not indispensable. However, note that it is your time. Let us change character, change souls, work for the good of our country. How many more years do we have to live? If we cannot work today, that is why if you are an adult and you see a young person coming up, oh, what else can you do than to do what? Protect, nurture, David.